Welcome back to the Todd Durkin Impact Show. This is Todd Durkin. Have you ever heard this quote before? Iron sharpens iron. Who sharpens you? Have you ever heard about you're just like the 5 collective people in your life who you're closest with? Who are those 5 people that you're surrounding yourself with? Well, today you're going to hear from 3 people who are in my Todd Durkin Mastermind program, who right here in San Diego, as we kick off tonight's retreat, these people are fire-breathing dragons. These people, when you talk about iron, these are the people who will lift you up. They will breathe life into you today as I interview them about business growth, about success, about what's working now in their businesses, what's not working now, and what are some of the trends in the industry that we will be looking at over the next 12 months or so. My friends, think about this as you're listening in. Who are you listening to? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you doing every single day to sharpen your sword? Iron sharpens iron. You think about iron. Who's sharpening you? Who's sharpening that sword? It is an everyday thing. So today you're going to hear from my friend Amanda Middleman. Amanda's been part of my mastermind program for over a decade. Yes, over a decade. And this woman has really transformed her business and her life. You're also going to hear from Amber Kivett. And Amber Kivett, who's in Indiana, she has transformed her business and her life as well, as she's now serving over 300 people on a farm in Indiana. Wait till you hear her story. And Brady Dale, Fearless Fitness and Grizzly Family Fitness up in Alaska. Brady Dale talks about what he's doing now to make sure he's serving people unequivocally. My friends, regardless of your occupation or your career, I promise you it's all about growth. It's about who you surround yourself with. It's about elevating where you're at today. Every single day as you sharpen your sword and you get your mind right, get it right, get it tight, and get your mind right. As you're walking the dog, as you're working out, as you're driving in your car, or cooking breakfast, lunch, or dinner right now, let's tune in and let's get better right now. All right, folks, we are here in the HQ. And we've got 3 special guests, Amanda, Amber, and Brady. What's happening, everybody? You guys good?
Hello.
Yeah, we're great.
You fired up?
Oh, yeah.
Are you fired up?
Fired up.
Fired
Good.
up, baby.
Absolutely
Let's go.
awesome.
All right, we got the Mastermind Retreat kicking off tonight. What are you most excited for about the retreat, Amanda? What do you got? What
Energy to connect. This is my fill up place.
Okay. Amber?
I'm just happy to be in another location to where I can absorb energy and spirit and share.
Brady?
Serve.
Connection with some of the best people in the world.
True that. Absolutely. Now, I know you're listening to this after the fact, but we have 3 very special guests here today on the Impact Show, and they have come from all over the place. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a minute to introduce yourselves. Tell us where you're from, your business, what you do, and how you're changing lives, because this is all about what's working in your business, what's even not, and what are you doing to create impact in your communities. I'm going to start with you, Miss Momentum. Amanda Middleman is in the house. Amanda, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Amanda Middleman, and I own Momentum Fitness in Huntington Beach, California.
Yep.
We do group fitness, we do small group personal training, and we do personal training.
Awesome.
And we change lives with mindset and moving your body.
How'd you get the name Momentum
I
Fitness?
got it from you, which came from Pastor Miles McPherson. You were doing a talk, and you said, get momentum, mo life, mo money, mo everything. And I was trying to find a name, and that was it.
2012?
No, 11 or 12. You're
11
right,
or
11 or 12.
Coronado.
Yeah.
Coronado.
Yeah.
That was
that was our, yes, 12.
Right. Yeah.
Was our, yes.
Okay, good. Welcome to the show, Amanda.
Thank you.
Amber Kivett. Introduce yourself. Where you're from, what you do.
Hi, my name is Amber Kivett, and I'm a certified athletic trainer. So I'm a hybrid coach in sports medicine, sports performance, and massage bodywork. I'm located in Monrovia on a farm in Indiana.
Where is Monrovia?
Monrovia is 30 minutes southwest of the Indianapolis airport. So you can fly in and get to me in 30 minutes and be right back out the door pretty quick.
When you say you have a farm,
Yes,
like
we have
cows?
cattle. We have a little over 100 head of cattle for beef, And then we do farming with grain and corn, wheat, soybeans, hay, about 1,500 acres there, but I actually live on 300 acres. My daughter will be the 5th generation to live on the family farm.
What?
Yeah, so it's really, really cool.
And you practice out of
a pole barn.
a
Yeah.
pole. It's a transformed from the barn
Yes.
to the sanctuary.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So my house sits next door to the pole barn, which is about 4,500 square feet. And we actually lived there for about 17 years before we built our dream home.
Okay.
Dream home is about 6,000 square feet that sits next door to the barn. And so I just walk through the yard to work every day.
And people come from all over the country to see you
Yes.
and the work that you're doing.
People fly in, people drive across state lines, people are local. But yes, it's a sanctuary in itself. It's there's only 2 stop signs from the Indianapolis airport to my house.
Wow.
And all the rest of it is just green
Do you
life.
have any horses on the farm?
We do not.
Okay.
They don't give money back to us.
Okay. I was going to say, if I come to the farm, can I ride the horses? But
No, but I'll take you on a 4-wheeler ride
Okay.
back through the pastures, and we've got 2 lakes that you can fish from, and
Wow.
hiking trails. So it's
Durkin trip to
Quite
the
serene.
Indiana, baby. Awesome. Can't wait to connect here on the show today. Brady Dale, in from Alaska. Talk to us.
Yeah, Brady Dale, born and raised in Palmer, Alaska. Owner of Fearless Fitness there in Palmer. I've been personal training since right out of high school, almost 9 years now. That's all
Okay.
I know, 18 to 27. I train at a facility called Grizzly Family Fitness. We are contracted by them with my 4 trainers, Faith, Delaney, Nika, and Casera. And we specialize in all things personal training, one-on-one, small group. And our motto is helping people create their own destiny.
Why does that just fit? Grizzly Family Fitness in Alaska. It just goes together, right? And what is Fearless Fitness? Create your own destiny. What's Fearless Fitness?
So Fearless Fitness I created it based on the idea of when I look at my clients and I look at the people that I work with,
Okay.
I think the number one reason our clients or our people either don't reach their goals or afraid of coming in the gym is because they're afraid of being judged, they're afraid of failing, and they're afraid of injury. And so Fearless Fitness was created to help people create an environment where there is no judgment. Everyone comes in with the same goal in mind. They don't have to be worried about injury because we help them through the process. We do everything safe with as far as education goes.
Okay.
And then we want to make sure that people are just in a good environment.
Good.
We want to give them a community of people where they can help reach their goals.
If there's ever a time to be fearless, now would be the time to fear less. Get it? Get it, folks? Fear less right now. Because today I want to talk about growth. I don't want to rehash the last 14, 15 months of what everyone's been through, because we all know it's been a very, very challenging time in our world's history. If there's ever a time for fire-breathing dragons to step up, whether you're a trainer, coach, entrepreneur, you're a doctor, lawyer, teacher, coach, whatever you do, police officer. I know we got a lot of cops listening from all over the world. Thank you for listening in. I want to talk about growth today. I want to talk about what we're going to do to move forward in any business, in the mindset, in the heart set, the soul set. What are we going to do to be the best versions that we can be, so we can serve people altruistically and help people to their core? So what I want to talk about, and Amber, I'm going to start with you. What's working right now in your business? What's working really well in your business?
So for my business, Kivik Kinetic Solutions,
Yep.
I've got 2 different sides of it. It's movement with purpose, endless possibilities is the physical side of it.
Okay.
When it comes to the pain and the pain relief, the healing side of things, that's more about experiencing the magic. And so I've had people coming to my home because my gym's been closed for about a year because we've been going through a complete renovation. But I am finding a lot of people are coming in with emotional pain, with fear. And when you have emotional pain, the fascia carries that pain much greater than a nerve or a muscle does, 10 times more. And so they just need somebody to talk to. I've had a lot of youth athletes who have come in for possible suicide attempts, or they're at the end of their rope because parents are busy trying to figure out how to survive. And so to actually stop and talk to these individuals and not tell them how they should think, but ask them what's on their mind, and just to listen and let them communicate that information with you. I incorporate life coaching and how to control stress, because so many teenagers, even young adults, have no idea that there is a process for controlling and managing their stress, what they have control of, what they really don't have control over, what they worry about that they really shouldn't have to worry about. We've got kids that are worrying about adult problems that no matter how they worry, it's going to make them, it's going to make them worse in the long run, because they're carrying more tension on their fascial lines, on their body. We take young individuals who haven't competed in athletics for several months, and then the door opens up that they can actually go and compete again, and you have overuse from not moving. Not your traditional overuse injuries from, doing too much of a good thing, but not doing anything and then going right back into sport. So I'm seeing a lot of overuse injuries from doing nothing. And then, they're carrying the pressure. Okay, do I still have it? I was able to pitch 40 miles an hour, or however, if you're looking at different levels of kids, they're coming in and they don't know if they still have it because they haven't done anything with their sport in a very long time. So I'm seeing the mind, body, and the soul. And when they realize that life is much more than just being an athlete, when you take their identity away from them and they're an athlete, and they don't know who they are or really what they want to be, and the parents no longer have control over the sports, then they're lost. They're empty. And they feel like, they're following social media, they're seeing what other people are doing, and they feel like, gosh, I'm not doing what they're doing, so I'm not worth anything. So being able to get into their head and just teaching them how to find themselves, and making them feel like they're important has been really, really cool. Majority of people that come in to see me come in because they are in pain, and they have pain that's either an injury or they just have chronic pain. And of course, chronic pain is associated with stress, with autoimmune disease. So when you can go in and teach them that, they do have options for not having pain, but by doing things naturally at home through holistic methods, by moving at home, even though they don't have to go to a gym and move, but just giving them some different mobility circuits or stretching or deep breathing. Most people don't know how to breathe. So I'm seeing a lot of that, and I'm seeing that in adults as well. So,
cool. Well, listen, folks, look down on your phone right now and the timestamp. I want you to look at that, and I want you to take a picture of it. I want you to take a picture right now, because what Amber just said is an actual very important statement. She said two things. Number one, she said something that probably struck your curiosity. She said fascia. And she said that emotional pain, mental stress can be stored in fascia. Now, I'm going to take you back on a little journey. 1995, doubly. If you've read any of my books, you've heard me talk about fascia. That's when I got introduced to a brand new world after my serious back injury, playing football over in France, 3 herniated discs, spinal stenosis, degenerative back disease, left motionless on a football field. I somehow came across the path of doubly in Santa Monica, California. That's a whole nother podcast episode. But he introduced me to a thing called fascia, where all physical, mental, emotional, spiritual stress is manifested there, and ultimately it's going to come out. It's going to come out in either disease, it's going to come out in pain, it's going to come out in some way, and it's going to aberrate your body, where if you don't deal with it now, well, then you're going to deal with it later. And the pandemic is going to keep a lot of trainers and a lot of body workers, healers like yourself, Amber, busy, because we've got to deal with this. The second thing I want to comment, Amber, before we move on is you talked a lot about kids, and you started to touch upon it later on. Folks, I don't care if you're 12 or if you're 52 or you're 72. Everything that she just said, all of us have those same exact emotions. Many people feeling lost, empty, forgotten, down, depressed. These are the things why we must move, why we must work on our bodies, our minds, our fascia, our mobility, our spiritual faith. All of these things come into play. So, Amber, thank you for what you do. I know you're impacting thousands of lives throughout the country, not just in Indiana. So thank you. Amanda, you're up next. What's working well in your business right now? What's working well?
So we went on to Zoom right away,
Yep.
the week, literally
I
Sunday.
feel ya.
We were on Zoom. And we have Zoom still, so that was something I would have never done.
Correct.
And I kept talking about doing it, but I know
were
as hard
forced
as
to
it
do it,
was,
yeah.
I was forced to do it, and I think a lot of people did. We did things that we stepped out of our comfort zones. That's still working. Now we have people trickling in. So my goal is that things kind of ease back into the gym, but I want to keep the online. I have people that go away, and I know in here we have people that have gyms in Arizona where they go away for this summer, and I have
Seasonal
clients that
type
go,
businesses,
yeah, and now
yeah.
they can stay with us. They don't have to put their membership on hold because they can show up for classes. And that connection where I'm still able to connect with people who believe and have different views of this whole thing, and we didn't lose them.
Yeah.
We were able to keep them.
Yep.
So-
Would you say that's the biggest game-changing move you've made in the last 12 months, going online?
Yes. I'm going to say something. I think this is one of the biggest opportunities for gyms, as hard as it was. What Amber just said, there's kids who have been, and adults who have been going, I went through losing my identity. I moved in the middle of my junior year in high school, and there wasn't really no help for someone like me. Today, we're all going through this at the same time, and now it's become like a thing. People need help, and we're just one person versus many teenagers. Now we have a reason to incorporate these programs and help more people. I think the whole thing is.
When you say that now is a tremendous time for gym owners, how about non-gym owners? What about someone listening who is not a trainer, not a coach, not a gym owner? They're just a fire-breathing dragon listening in, wanting some inspiration. Do you think there's opportunity for them in this
Yes.
time to rediscover themselves?
Yes, I think in life is like a pendulum, and it's gone this way. We've pushed so hard this way that we got to come back, and there's so much opportunity. And if we look at what's real, what's now, face it, and I think reality, Byron Katie says, reality is always kinder than what's in our mind. So look at what is, and instead of looking at the problem of what is, look at what you can do to be the solution.
Yeah.
And that's what we did right away, and it worked. So I never worried about the business closing. I didn't have time. I was too busy serving.
Right,
And
right.
every time my staff, any of us got worried, I'd go back to serve, go back to serve,
Amen.
go back to serve.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you move forward.
Right. No, that's powerful. So let me ask you a question. I think sometimes I make this analogy is we're at one place in our life, and I do believe that we have different seasons and chapters of our life. And I've talked about this at the Mastermind retreats. You're on this, you call it pendulum. You're on a trapeze swing. And all of a sudden, you got one hand on the ring that you're on, and you got to go to that ring.
Yeah.
And what happens is you're between the two rings, but you don't want to let go of that rung. Because if you let go, you're going to swing forward and get to the next level, the next step, the next rung. So a lot of times we feel like we're stuck because we're holding on to what we've had, and we want to get here, and we're between the two, and we're stuck. There's a lot of people right now who are stuck. A lot of people right now who are empty. They're feeling lost. A lot of 50-somethings, 40-somethings. It doesn't matter your age. There's a lot of lost people. So what has to happen now, you got to let go of the past. Maybe the past not just being pandemic time. It could be time from 15, 20 years ago what's holding you back so that you can swing forward to the next level. And I liken that analogy because right now is a tremendous opportunity for anybody. Yeah. If you're a student, if you're a mom or dad you're in a career where you're not happy and you're thinking about other opportunities, or you're in a career and there's opportunities to grow and manifest new things, now's a great time to really let go of the past, whatever may be holding you back, and swing to where you want to go, right? So hopefully that helps you all in that analogy. Amanda, thank you for that. It's a powerful thought process there. Brady Dale, what's working well right now in your business? You talked a little bit about it early on, but go deeper. What's working well up at the Fearless Fitness?
You know, the biggest thing that's working well in my business right now, it is the personal training and the relationship building.
Amen.
That is hands down, I think, the most important when it comes to really any industry, right? It's the relationships that you can build with people.
Yep.
But especially in the personal training industry.
Love it.
So building relationships with my trainers, with my teammates, has been huge. You know, I hired all 4 of my trainers in the last 6 months.
I was going to say, you've hired
been
during the
6 months.
pandemic.
Yeah.
You hired 4 trainers during the pandemic. Let me repeat that, folks. hired 4 new trainers during the pandemic. While most people are letting people go, you're going the other way.
For sure.
Good.
It's been amazing.
Good.
And I needed that help.
Good.
When we opened back up, and very fortunate, Alaska was very fortunate. We opened up back in July of last year, and we've been rolling. But we did. Service is the number one thing I want to emphasize. Is you have to outserve, outcare, and outlove everyone else. You have to give that.
Okay, let's just go deeper, because everyone says it. I got to outcare everyone. I want you always hear me say, you got to outcare everyone. What does that mean to you up at Grizzly Family Fitness and Fearless Fitness? What does it mean to outserve, outcare, outlove? What do you do to really do that? And by the way, I don't care if you're not even a trainer or a coach. If you're a doctor, how do you show your patients more love in a time where there's a lot of stress in the medical system? If you're a first responder, high stress, right? There's people who are burnt out to the point of exhaustion right now. Let me speak life into you and what you're doing and how it's making a difference. But talk about that, because I think it's important that you realize, like, we got to love more. I'm loved out. I got to care more. Gosh, I've already cared everyone. I'm done. I'm spent. I'm drowning. What do?
Compassion and empathy, plain and simple. Regardless of whatever your position you're in, especially with the clients in your business, the people you come across, everyone's got something that they're going through.
Okay.
And whenever I come across someone who's going through something, and this is something we all experience in the industry, is you can get a random stranger calling you interested in your services, and within 5 minutes they've told you their life story because they're sharing everything with you. And it's having, I think, the patience and the empathy and the understanding to take that time to really listen to people and what they really need, and not just listen to be like, oh, okay, now here's my services. Listen to care, listen to understand, and kind of feed into that, and then go, okay, here's how I can help you. Here's what we can do for you. Here's how we can help you change your life through exercise, through fitness, all of that stuff. But I think it comes to just giving as much of yourself to your community as possible. And especially in the last few years, I've lived my life understanding that the more that I can give to my community, to my people, to my trainers, the more that the world gives back to me.
Right.
And that is
Universal principle.
Yeah, plain and simple. And so I just know that for myself, I give every single day as much as I can into my trainers. I put as much information and knowledge into them as possible. When I show up for a training session, doesn't matter how tired I am, doesn't matter how beaten down I am, I know that those people, they need me in some way, shape, or form. My community needs me, and I have to give them my energy. I have to give them my effort, my spirit during every session. And you just have to do the right thing too. There's a lot of people that I think they focus so much on the business side of things or the money side of things that they don't care enough.
I want to speak to some teachers right now, because I know there's some teachers listening in right now. I know there's some police officers listening in right now. I know there's some firefighters listening in right now, and some moms and dads listening in right now, because I feel you right now. I can sense you shaking your head as you're walking right now. I'm going to speak life into you, because what Brady just said is this: when you're tired, care even more. When you're tired, give more, love more. Well, how do you do that? I want to encourage you today to listen with your eyes, not your ears. I want you to listen with your eyes. When you're connecting with a student today, or a patient today, or someone that you're working with today, I want you to look them in their eyes and see their spirit, see their soul. And if they're looking exhausted, fatigued, burnt out, lost, depressed, connect with them, because when you connect with them, that's called life. That's called energy. And all of a sudden, your energy goes up, even though you're exhausted and feel like you got nothing left to give. Now, all of a sudden, you've connected with another human spirit, and humans are designed to connect, and we haven't had the opportunity to connect the way we need to or should be connecting. So now I'm going to implore you, encourage you to make sure you connect with your eyes today. On the walk, the next time someone walks by you right now, I want you to give them a little winky, say I was from TD, give them a little wavy, smile at them, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, he just waved, he just winked at me, whatever. Like, we need to start connecting, and the face is very important. So I know there's some great teachers, police officers, firefighters, doctors, and moms and dads right now who are tired. But let's keep giving. Let's keep loving more. And that, all of a sudden, that fills you up with more fulfillment, and all of a sudden you start feeling more energized, right? So these are important steps. Very good points, all three of you on that. I want to talk about moving forward. You just saw I was training Pastor David Jeremiah, folks. One of the mentors in my life and a guy I train several days a week to this day. 80 years old and he's spitting out books like I do podcasts. Books like I do podcasts. So y'all think like, wow, how does TD get 2 podcasts a week? He puts out 2 books a month, I think. But he has a book called Forward. Moving forward in very difficult, challenging times, how you move forward. What are you guys working on now that's exciting, that's going to impact your communities, this, your people that you influence, maybe the state, maybe the country, maybe the world? Are you working on anything specific in your lives that is going to be impactful? Amanda, I'm going to start with you. Anything that is exciting that the world needs to know about?
Yes. I haven't talked about this before, so
Fill me in. I'm sure I'll hear about this weekend.
There was so much time to think, right? We had time to think during this pandemic, and really, I think everyone went in, and this is scary. I'm starting programs for women going through menopause. I want to make menopause, it's such a scary thing, and for me, I just even say this, I didn't want, women we don't want to talk about it. When I mentioned something to my sister, she told me some bad words. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to me about that. And I think it's a rite of passage, and it should be made. I think anyone aging, I'm 51. I can't believe I just said it out loud. I'm making myself do this, but I'm just starting.
100%.
This pandemic gave me a new view too, and I'm just starting. I want to reach out and touch more people, and we've done challenges during the pandemic, and one of my groups called themselves the menopause group because there were all their questions were about I'm gaining weight in menopause, and I was one of those trainers that I taught 3 classes a day, and I said, well, just eat like I do, it's great, you'll be fine. And it's not. It was, as I got closer to the age of 50, I was eating the same, and things were changing in my body. So I had to look up. I am shaking. I can't believe I'm talking about this.
Good.
This is a big fear for me.
Good. Speak. Keep preaching, girl.
I had to look up ways to get through this and run a business, because you hear about people having hot flashes and not thinking clearly, and I'm not having that. So I want to share that with other women. And that's powerful.
By the way, as you just spoke that, you just spoke truth into a lot of people, and you declared what you're going to be doing. So now it's going to come to life because you already spoke it. You declared it publicly. So I'm holding you to it, just like you did in 2012 with Momentum Fitness.
Yes.
But you also you've heard me talk, guys, a lot about Wayne Cotton before, another of my mentors. And he believes that there's cycles in life that come every about 7 years. And there's seasons in your life, and you've got to keep reinventing yourself. And sometimes you choose change, and sometimes change chooses you. For many of us, change has chosen us. We didn't necessarily choose some of the changes. We were forced to change. And some others who are listening in, you have chosen to change. But perhaps, Amanda, your best, most impactful work is still to come. Because you think about the millions of people, not just in Huntington Beach, the millions of people who can be served by your newfound passion and purpose. There's a lot of people who can be helped, that it's not a death sentence. You can get through this with, the right mentality, the right physical routine that you're doing. So congratulations. You just publicly declared on the Impact Show your future, your next 7 years plus.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. Everybody ages. You can't stop it. We're going to do it.
Truth to that. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come.
Just starting.
Amber, how about yourself? Are you working on anything or towards anything specifically that you're really excited about these days?
Yeah, so I've been in business for 13 years, and I've been doing it alone for 13 years. And I just, the pandemic kind of sent me over for a leap of faith as redefining my business. So I'm now an S corporation. I have hired 4 employees. I am hiring certified athletic trainers to be able to work with my standing physician order to deliver Kippers, which is Kivit Instant Pain Relief Systems. And because we are able to practice in so many different types of modalities, cupping, needleless acupuncture, the scraping, what some people refer to as Graston or IASTM, mobility circuits, fascial stretching, all different kinds of things. But it's taken me several years to put this system together. A lot of that came from an accident several years ago, leading me with 8 spinal injuries, learning to walk again, and dealing with the head trauma associated with that and the autoimmune fibromyalgia with that. And so now that I have mastered that soft tissue system, now it's time for me to share it. And so I'm bringing in staff to share that with so that I can spread my wings within and, be able to treat more people than, what I can at this point, because I'm stretched as far as I can be stretched. 150 new clients have walked through my front door of my home in the last year.
Your barn.
No, in my house.
Oh, your home. Okay.
In my real house. No, I shut down my barn to be able to renovate it top to bottom and inside and out. And so I have a professional treatment room in my home and have had one for about 5 years that I've practiced out of for privacy purposes. But I've had 150 people walk through my front door, word of mouth. I don't send emails out. I don't advertise. It's all word of mouth. 90% of those people have been through other forms of treatment, physical therapy, chiropractic, surgery. I can fix 90% of those in 1 to 3 appointments. And they're completely pain-free when they leave. But again, it's mind, body, spirit. It's bringing the mind in with the physicality of everything. And it's educating them on what they can do to continue to feel that relief. So I'm excited about that. And then bringing in the employees and actually expanding programs to be able to cater to so many more people. So that's huge for me. And I love presenting. This is the first year. I've never done anything virtual until when the pandemic hit, and becoming the spokesmodel for Life Pro and doing a lot of stuff with B3 blood flow resistance bands and doing everything virtual for free from all of my clients, just to have some kind of a lifeline, to follow from a fitness standpoint or wellness standpoint for pain relief purposes. Now I will be offering a virtual platform here in the next 6 months. So basically starting from bare bones, the entire business, to be able to put the systems into place so that Queen Bee can step out and spread her wings and everybody else can continue to thrive within my business.
I commend you on your maniacal focus on your craft. I think it's a lost art today. I think there's a lot of folks who in any industry think you can just go on Instagram, Facebook, pay for paid ads and become someone of an influence, so to speak, by that. And your growth, an astronomical growth over this last year or so, doing it the old-fashioned way by just literally focusing on doing great work and letting that word of mouth pay its dividends. I commend you on that, respect that, because we need more people who are literally focusing on the craft of one-on-one training. It ain't sexy, but guess what? You're changing lives. Or if you love small group, then small group. Whatever you love, sometimes you're chasing something that because you see it on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or Snapchat. You see something, so you get that. You want to jump to the shiny object versus inside. What is your true alignment with your purpose? And if you stay aligned with that and do that, I do believe you're doing your best work when that's the case, and that the universe will provide. So congratulations on that. You're doing an awesome job.
So when you say shiny objects, it's something that you've always taught us in the mastermind is don't lose your focus with the distraction of shiny objects. And for me, I like to say greatness is not what you have, and that's not what's around you. Greatness becomes from what you share of yourself to others and sharing your gifts. And the more that you share, like Brady said, even when you're tired, my husband says, how much more time can you put in? And I said, you know what? There were times when I was desperate for somebody to work on me, and everybody turned me away. So I've been there. So to be able, if I got the energy, I have no idea how I'm vertical sometimes, but I just know, I pray on every single person that I work on, and God gives me the strength to keep going. So greatness is not what you have. It's what you give of yourself to others and share of yourself to others. And the more that I have found you give and share of what's inside of you, the more it comes back full circle when you least expect it. Truthfully, when you least expect it.
My wife Melanie has said that many times. The cobbler's wife has no shoes. Oh, man. Brady Dale, how about yourself? What are you working on? What are you working towards these days that's exciting you and firing you up?
Yeah, two things. One, more local, is now that I have a team, finally able to start working on training with kids and helping kids with self-confidence, self-body image and improving their body image, and doing that through fitness and education on all levels. So my team is helping me with that. On a bigger level, Fearless Fitness podcast is something I'm looking to launch this summer. So name pending, but the Destiny podcast, Destined for Greatness, something like that. And the reason that speaks big to me, and those kind of both go hand in hand, is I want to share my story, and I want to share a lot of the stories of the people that I've come across over the last 9 years in the industry. As beautiful as Alaska is, if you've never been there, one of the most beautiful places on the planet, it is home to the highest percentage of kids who commit suicide, kids who become addicted to drugs and alcohol. And it hits real home hard really for me because I was a suicidal 17-year-old. My father died from alcohol poisoning when I was an 8th grader, and I didn't grow up with him. So it hits home to me. And I went through a lot, as a kid growing up. And I'm grateful now because, you don't know what you have until you don't. But I want to be able to share how I went from a suicidal 17-year-old to being a personal trainer at 18 to now being a business owner and helping, save people's lives. I want to share the power that fitness has to save lives because it saved mine. If it wasn't for the gym, if it wasn't for exercise, if it wasn't for all of the stuff that I've been able to do for myself, I don't know if I'd be here today. So the gym saved me, and I want to do that for other people. And I know that I've had clients come in who I've shared as much as I can with them, and they always give back to me some of their experiences. They give back to me, the things that we've helped them do. I had one of my favorite clients who I'll never forget. Her name was Laura Mahoney, and this was 2 years into personal training. She's 55 years old. She was a school teacher, a mom, a grandma. And when she came to me, she couldn't lift her hands over her head. Like it was physically impossible for her. 3 months into training, she could put her hands above her head again. And she went skiing and she went hiking and biking for the first time in 30 years. And that was huge to me. And the fact that I could put that smile on her face and see her do things that she's never done before, it made me really happy. And unfortunately, but also fortunately, after her first big ski trip in 30 years, she had the blast. She came back and she said it was the most amazing thing she'd ever experienced. She unfortunately passed away in a car accident a week later. But knowing that I could do that for her, and that's just one of so many different experiences, but knowing that I could do that for her through fitness, to give her life back, to give her activity back, was huge. I mean, I don't have time to share all the stories, but I went and I presented at my old high school where I was a suicidal teen, and I shared a 45-minute talk, and I had 3 kids come to me afterwards sharing those same experiences. And I stayed after that presentation for 2 hours talking to these kids and sharing tears, and that made a big deal to me. So podcast is my way of wanting to share stories and help people who are going through a hard time and help save them through fitness.
Thank you for sharing. So many times, you hear these stories, and you talk about, like, you go to a high school or you go to do a talk. It's the people who stay after the talk that want to talk. It's the last 2 or 3 stragglers that got the biggest, deepest problems that want to talk to you. And that's great that you spent the extra time, because those are the people who often need it the most. And Brady, as you're speaking here, it makes me think that your purpose is only deepening now, because as part of Grizzly Family Fitness and Fearless Fitness, and the impact that you're creating in Alaska, it seems to me like there's a deeper story because of your journey of being a kid who was suicidal and understanding that and wanting to give back to not only the kids of Alaska with such a high suicide rate, but across this country. The greater pandemic is going to be these kids who we need to fight like mad for, because of the times have messed a lot of people up. So podcast or lives or whatever you're doing, don't wait. This needs to get out. And if you can connect with these kids, just like we do here on this podcast, is you want to breathe life into these kids and hope and inspiration and motivation. So thank you for sharing that. Awesome.
You bet.
Awesome. So I want to just switch it up here in conclusion. I want to just get a little personal. I want to hear about your personal aspect of what you do to get your mind right. What do you do to keep your routine in gear? Because you're dealing with people who are in pain, who are suicidal. You're dealing with on this, Amber. You're dealing with a lot of people who are in physical pain, which, as we know, when you're in physical pain, it 100% affects your mentality. You become your hurt back or your bum knee. How's your back? How's your back? I don't want to talk about my back. How about my heart, my soul, right? If you've been hurt, you understand that. And same thing, Amanda, with what you've shared. Gosh, in so many years I've known you, not only in the fitness journey, but in the life journey now as a grandma, and then now, with your evolution into working with women who are going through menopause. As a life transformer, y'all are changing lives, transforming lives. How do you stay sharp? What are you doing to get your mind right? Amanda?
I have a podcast on my phone that I listen to, this one. I have a couple others too that help me, and I have YouTubes and books, audiobooks that if I need to get my mind right, for specific things, right, get my energy up. If I'm dealing with something difficult, I have people that I talk to. There's things, and we all have things going on in our lives that, again, that we have to face. I like to admit, just look at the reality of it, and reality is always kinder than what goes on in my mind. And I have people help me, my friends that talk me through it, so I can turn around and help someone else. I also share. I think it's really important to share what's going on with us, because I'll get emotional. The stuff that you share makes me think, okay, it's okay. I can go through these things. I always cry. He always makes me cry.
I'm not even saying anything.
I know. So like in the beginning of the pandemic, we're not supposed to go backwards, but that when you came on and you said, I'm struggling, because you have Todd, he's got it all together. He's not struggling, and I think sharing is healing for us too, because then you realize I'm helping someone else with what I've gone through. So I share. I have people I share with, and I have my podcast geared up.
I love that
all the time.
Awesome. Amber, how about yourself?
Thanks, Amanda. And I'm gonna get choked up now. There's a lot of emotion in this room. It's the spirit, right? For me, I had to change I think you had on the podcast a few weeks ago. You have to change your inflow to control your outflow so that you can be prepared for the overflow.
Amen.
I was ready. So for me, I had to change my inflow. I had to change my input. I was at the retreat last year in February we were in Coronado. And I Shazammed Toby Mac. I'd never heard Toby Mac in my life. It was crazy. I'm telling you, I
had
get closer
that song
to
on repeat the whole retreat.
I know, right? It caught my attention, and like I said, God always talks to me when I'm close to you or around other masterminders. So for me, I downloaded every Toby Mac album, and I listened to Toby Mac in my car all day, every day when I'm like doing my thing. And because of working on so many individuals who are in pain, I meditate on every body I touch. And so if I'm feeling bad energy, I have to take my mind to a different place. And that's when I start to dream. And that's when I start to imagine doing something much bigger than life itself, so that I can work on that individual without absorbing and transferring that bad energy to myself.
Yep.
I dream and I meditate and see my place in a different location, myself in a different location. I eliminate negative energy, whether that's people around me or whether it's television. I haven't watched TV in a long time. It's been years. You made the comment years ago. In order to be able to dream bigger and do bigger, you have to stop doing certain things to start doing something, right. And then you have to do less of one in order to gain more of another, because you only have so many hours in a day and bandwidth is only so wide. I gave up TV several years ago, and so for me, I had to change the inflow of my music selection. And so my music selection completely shifted, which my 10-year-old daughter, Zoe, she now is a diehard Toby Mac fan. So now, she got to go to her first concert a few months ago. I took the whole family. So it was actual live concert. It was grand. But no, I change, who is around me, the energy, and I get quiet time alone. I tell you what, because I work at home all day, every day, and because I'm already in green space, a lot of people live in a concrete jungle. I live where there's a lot of green space. Sometimes I have to go where the noise is. Sometimes I have to get in my car and go to the city and see what the chaos is, to appreciate what's right in front of me, and embracing the very, very small things. But I love, like I said, my daughter's 10. the way my daughter's not a monetary individual at all. She is very spiritual with animals and with small things in life. I sit back and sometimes just observe her as she loves to draw and just appreciating what's there. That's what gets my mind right.
Yeah, I think the one thing that's important to note is when you're around toxic people, you become toxic, like if you're not careful, right? Like toxicity. I learned that in 1994. I was in massage therapy school down in Atlanta, Georgia at the time. It was called Rising Spirit. New Life Institute changed the Rising Spirit. Dr. Bruce Costello, he talked about these energy fields. And coming from a very traditional, got my undergraduate degree, and then I go to massage therapy school, I got introduced to these energy fields, how everyone is an energetic being. So here we are. We were taught when doing massage therapy sessions is when you're done with the session, when someone's prone face down, you put one hand on the sacrum and one hand on the base of the neck, and you just very gently, you rest your hands there, and whether you just want to breathe or you want to say a prayer. And for folks, I don't know if you know this, but for the better part of a decade, I did a lot of body work, not just regular deep tissue sports massage, but Rolfing and structural integration and sports massage, all of that. And I always ended my session that way. And one of the things that I found pretty quick is like when you say a blessing over somebody and like that, all of a sudden people start crying. People start emotionally letting down after a great 30 or 60 or 90-minute session. And why? It's because of the transference of energy, your energy, into someone else's energy. You could lift your hands up off of a body and you still feel energy. And that's why I say now, when I'm in the presence of someone who is what I feel as toxic, I was taught to always imagine yourself like a white bubble 3 feet around your whole body, and that don't ever let anyone inside your white bubble. Because if they come in and invade that white, pure, sacred space, then all of a sudden then you become toxic. So it's very good to go out into toxic environments and serve people, because it's like going to church. You don't live in church and then just sit there in church and do you got to go out and serve the people. Same thing with what we do is you got to fill yourself up first, and then you got to go out and serve and help people, whether that be at the studio, at the gym, on a podcast, whatever. But just realize that today, you don't have to necessarily just avoid people who are toxic. You just can't take in that energy. And that's a very conscious thing that you work on through this visualization. So thank you for sharing that, Amber. Brady, how about yourself? When it comes to you staying sharp, what are you doing these days to stay sharp?
What don't I do? This is a better question.
What are the top two things?
Oh my gosh.
Top two.
Top two. Gotta work out. I mean, if I don't work out, my day is shot. Like I have to, right? Very habitual. And I'd say it's more, maybe not just workout, but habits. Being very habitual with my routine on a daily basis. When you go to bed on time, when you wake up on time, what's your morning routine, what's your nighttime routine?
Yep.
What is your workout routine? What those things that matter to you. That's what keeps me going. Mm-hmm. And I would say if I had to pick just a number two, getting to serve people. Getting to help people. The more, again, it all comes back to how much I put into my other people. And here's how I'll kind of tie that together is I have to do everything I can to keep myself right, to keep my mind right, my body right, to keep myself feeling good. Because if I'm not at peak performance, I can't put that into other people.
Right.
If I'm not taking care of me, and this is for moms, for other coaches, for industry leaders, for business owners, if you aren't taking care of you, you can't take care of the people in your room. You can't take care of your team. You can't take care of your kids. You have to be able to take care of yourself first. So that's where I put myself as far as the podcasts and the mental stimulation in the efforts and the goals that I set for myself. I have to take care of myself first, so that I can feed that into my team and my family, to the people that I love. And it starts with you.
Yeah,
plain and simple.
Let me ask you this to wrap it all up. If there was someone listening in today who wants to do better in business and life, if there's one suggestion that you would make to someone who really wants to be better, we always say do better, do better. What would that one suggestion be? Brady, I'll start with you. Someone wants to be better, listening in right now. What's one thing that one should do to be better?
Oh, I have to pick one?
One.
If you're not already you need to get on an exercise regimen every single day.
Okay.
You have to.
Good. Amber. One thing to be better.
So this is something that I ask all my clients, whether it's an athlete or whether it's a kid or an adult. I had this conversation with a business owner, a very successful business owner last week. What truly makes you happy? When you take away your business and you take away your identity and you only have 3 or 4 things that you can do that truly make your soul sing, that make you feel like you're on top of the world. Sit down and really evaluate what truly makes you happy, because if you don't know what makes you happy, you cannot be the best in business or in life. And do more of what truly makes you happy.
Awesome. Amanda, one thing that one could do to be better.
Trust.
What do you mean by that? Trust what? Trust who?
Trust that everything's going to be okay. Pray. You taught me to pray. I didn't do that before. It's been powerful. I didn't grow up with religion. And Julie gave me a rock last year that said trust. And before my vocal cord surgery, and I have that rock. I don't have it with me. I have that rock with me everywhere, and I was going to show Julie. But it's been the biggest thing this year is to trust. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Do you think you say trust because that's been a challenge for you in the past to trust? Trust whether it be people, trust the process, trust that it's going to work out? Or is that just a newfound focus is trust that it's all going to work out?
I think I thought I was in charge before. And now I trust that I ain't in charge.
If that's the one thing we all learned during this pandemic is we have control of nothing.
I got control of nothing. And that is very freeing. It's actually very freeing when you let go.
Yep.
Like you talked about, let go. If you fall, you know what? You're going to get back up. Some of the best stories are people who fell. I fell. I've fallen several times. It's let go, fall, trust, and trust in you. I trust in me. I know I'm going to stand back up. But I always I didn't know that I was a partner with a higher power. I didn't know that I could say, you know what? I know you got my back. Yeah. And that was just one thing that this nudged me into. Even this whole thing, right? It's falling is okay. Yeah. It's not getting up that's not okay. Yeah. So trust, let go, fall, and then get back up. And if you might not fall, but trust the process, trust your partnership with a higher power, whatever that higher power is.
That is awesome. Powerful. Go ahead, Brady.
Just one more thing, and give me a second to think about it for a sec, was if you're struggling, go help someone. I think that was the biggest thing for me, was when I was struggling, I didn't know what to do and I felt lost, I had to help people. And the more that I can help people and the more that you can give, and this is a BNI thing, if anyone knows BNI, philosophy is givers gain. The more that you can give into the world, the more the world will get back, and we talked about that. But go help someone. Go, random acts of kindness, pay for somebody's coffee. You see someone, struggling on the side of the road, give them a hand, just help. Just give to the world, and the world will give back to you.
I'll end with this question. You each are valuable members of the mastermind. Amber, I'll start with you. How long have you been with the mastermind, and why are you part of the mastermind?
Okay, I got to think about this. I don't remember.
Chicago. I
can tell you that I joined following you as a professional in 2007. No, it's 2008. Being somebody who worked with Drew Brees at Purdue, I actually had time to read a journal and figured out that you were the one who helped push him to that next level. So I knew I had to be with you. And since, it was an investment, because my husband was like, do we really need to spend this kind of money on following somebody? I said, I just feel that this is where I'm supposed to go. And every year that I have given into the mastermind and listened to what the mastermind has given back to me, my business has soared to even greater heights year after year after year.
I love it.
So you're stuck with me
you're a
until
great
you're
part
120
of it.
years old.
Exactly. Brady, how about yourself?
The mastermind is older than Fearless, or me being in the mastermind is older than Fearless Fitness is. So 3 years this July, I will be with the mastermind. So coming up real soon. And I joined the mastermind because I knew that it was the group of people that I needed, the community that I needed, and I found out about you at Idea World. Saw you speak, and I don't know if you remember, but it was the first presentation I ever, second, because I saw Trina Gray first, and then I saw your keynote. I actually started your standing ovation because I was so fired up.
Wow.
I was so fired up, and I mean, I was so emotional listening to you talk that, and this was 2017, that I stood up, and as soon as I heard you speak, I was like, I need to join the mastermind. And you were the reason that I left my safe $16 an hour job as a personal trainer in another gym and started Fearless Fitness just over a year later.
Wow. Do you remember what the talk was?
It was your, I believe it was titled your Wow Talk.
Yeah.
If I
The
remember
Wow book had
correctly.
just come out.
I think the Wow, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was your Wow Talk.
Okay.
And it just, between you and Trina, it lit a fire under me.
That's awesome. Thank you. How about you, Amanda?
So I've been with you for 11 years, since 2010, and I had graduated with a master's degree and started a business, and I didn't have a name, and I had seen you before, and it was my dad who said, you got to go see this guy. And it was in Long Beach.
Long Beach, perform
so
better.
I had seen you before, and then this Long Beach talk, I was ready, and you, I think it was, I just remember the momentum talk. At that Long Beach one, and I had been looking for a mastermind group. I knew I needed something. I was going to try to start my own, and you handed out papers for the mastermind group, and I was like, I'm in. I'm in. And then 2012, you and I sat facing each other, and I told you every reason why I wanted to open this business, this brick and mortar, and why I couldn't. And you said you are the reason Momentum is a brick and mortar today. The only thing holding me back was sitting in my chair.
Right.
And yeah, so this is, and my husband, when it comes to like, we got to make cuts, he goes, nope, not cutting that. So it has not only made my business better, but when it comes to like the mastermind group, he says that is one of the most valuable things we have,
Well, it's
I
the
do
community,
it.
right? It's the people. It's always about the people. And obviously that's why we're here today on this podcast episode, folks. We're getting ready. We've got a retreat here. We're getting back into it. We got 20, 25 people coming in for the next 3 days. And we're going to kick it off tonight with a devotional meditation. And we've got all day tomorrow. We're going deep in our business and lives. And Sunday, I'm leading a little chapel service in the morning, and we're getting after it for a few hours. But I think the 2 to 3 days away is always good to work on your business. I don't care what business you're in. I think it's always important to get away, get around other inspiring people. You guys talked about that. That's the power of the network, to get great ideas, thoughts, step away, get mellow yellow time, blue sky time on that stuff. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for what you guys are doing, not in the mastermind only, but in your communities, because that's where the real impact. You guys have heard me say I want to impact and reach 10 million people in my lifetime. Well, part of my purpose is to infiltrate with the mastermind who's in that, so they can go back and hit hundreds or thousands of people. Because if we all can spread that, think about how the world will be a better place. So you guys, thank you so much. Final words, social media. Amanda, where can somebody find you on social media?
Amanda Middleman, Instagram and Facebook, and Momentum Fitness HP.
Awesome. Okay. Amber?
I can be found most of the social media platforms, but if you just locate me by my name, Amber Kivett, Kivett, for Kivett Kinetic Solutions.
Yep.
Or KKS Training is another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Brady?
Instagram at BradyDale34 or at fearless_fitness_Alaska. And Facebook is Fearless Fitness and Brady Dale.
And folks, you were like, I didn't get all that. Don't worry about it. It's all in the description. It's all in the show notes. Follow Amanda, follow Amber, follow Brady. These are fire-breathing dragons who are breathing life into thousands of people worldwide. And I hope you enjoyed today as much as I did. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. Rock and roll. Get out there. Pick up the pace. Remember, continue to train hard, eat right, live inspired, and don't forget, go create impact. Wow, oh wow, I hope you felt the excitement, the exuberation in the episode today. I mean, you talk about momentum. What Amanda Middleman said, momentum. How do you get mo in your life? How do you get mo happiness, mo money, mo fulfillment, mo everything in your life? Well, I believe one of the secrets is by who you're surrounding yourself with. who you're investing in, what you're investing in, how are you learning? What are you learning today? Right now, what are you doing to get better in your business and your life? And today I want to welcome all of you. If you're a fitness professional, if you're a trainer, if you're a coach, I want to welcome you and invite you to apply or join the Todd Durkin Mastermind Coaching Program. These are some of the finest fire-breathing dragons on the planet who are not only connecting live now, we are connecting live. We have monthly calls. We have weekly connect times. I'm sharing things every single week to get people better in their business, their leadership, their branding, their marketing, their training, and of course, personal growth. Because after all, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And if you want to get to the next level, it all starts with your growth inside. What are you doing to get better yourself? My friends, today, check out ToddDurkinMastermind.com. ToddDurkinMastermind.com. Apply, become part of the team, and I promise you that all areas of your business and your life will be impacted to a whole new level. I'll see you on the inside. Today, take action. ToddDurkinMastermind.com. I'll see you there.